सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्म विद्वरम्। कल्याण सूत्रम।
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला। अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः। पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितं। लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरहः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। ओम।
Thank you. Thank you, Natarajan sir.
Hari Om, Jai Guru. So we are going to see slokas 15 to 18. See, so far Krishna has explained many things to Arjuna, because we are in the 10th chapter. Earlier, the important, things he explained were mainly in second chapter, Sankhya Yoga, then Buddhi Yoga, Karma Yoga. It's about Buddhi Yoga and Karma Yoga, they are together. And then he talks about that immortal soul and all. He has told Arjuna also in second chapter, I think second chapter, 15th verse or so, he says, there was no time when I was not there, you are not there, nor the others who are here, all the kings and the others. And there is no going to be any time, or there will not be any time when we are not going to be there. That means we are all Saraswatam. That means we here means that I. So he explained all these things. Then 7th chapter also, he talks about para and apara, prakriti. So after Arjuna has, of course, clearly understood all these things. See, only difference is it's a battlefield. Arjuna has no time to rethink or do manana and all. Simultaneously, everything is happening. So we have to imagine that situation. That is otherwise we have a lot of time and after reading, to think about it, to discuss about it, all these things. Arjuna has to simply listen. Of course, he has enough background. Right from the beginning, he was exposed to Vedas and Vedantas and other things by his gurus, and especially Dronacharya and Kripacharya. So, but with all these things, and he has himself, he has done a lot of tapas, and he has seen Shiva and goddess, that is Pasupati, Pasuparastram and all these things. So he has enough background. He is not an ordinary person, and that's why Krishna chose him to, they teach Bhagavad Gita. So he has this background, but still, whatever he wants to know further, he expresses to Krishna. In fact, in the earlier chapters, that means in the earlier slokas, other day our Sri Ramananji explained very clearly. It's how the Brahman, he has himself manifested as the world, as material cause as well as intelligent cause. So whatever we see is that only. So with so much understanding, Arjuna is asking some more questions from 15th to 18th, and it goes further. Especially the 15th to 18th, after that, Krishna speaks about his glories and all, vibhuti, because these questions are very relevant, especially for all of us. And so one by one, he asks. See, even us, when, we have heard Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi and all these things. It's not new to us, but still, we don't have real, time or this thing to probe further. So, whereas Arjuna, immediately he wants to get clarification for some of the points so that his understanding will be better. So the 15th, let's see the sloka. Swayamevatmanatmanam vetatvam purushottama bhudabhavana bhutesha devadeva jagatpate. Swayamevatmanatmanam vetatvam purushottama bhudabhavana bhutesha devadeva jagatpate. So here it's I'll just read the translation, then we will discuss. So he says, "Oh, Supreme Purusha." Here, Purusha means dweller in the body of all bodies. So he says, "Oh, Supreme Purusha, you alone know yourself through yourself. You are the source of all beings, the Lord of all creations, God of gods, and the ruler of the entire world. Bhutavana Bhuteshe Deva Deva Jagatpade." That is, God of gods and ruler of the entire world, Jagatpade. So here, this thing he points out is, you alone know yourself through yourself. Because he is the source. Earlier we have seen the gods and Maharshis, they don't know. He himself says, "My origin." That means they don't know me fully well, because Krishna or the Brahman, he is the creator. He is causeless cause. Otherwise, but he is the cause of all the creation. That's what he mentions here, Arjuna. So this we have seen. Here, see, self, that means everybody knows that everyone is the self. There is no, we all know, I am the self, I am the soul, I am the invisible, immortal presence and all these things. But generally, none probes to understand it completely. So we will have doubts and other things, how this is possible, if because so many questions are asked. Even last week a question was raised. Then if he is everything, then where is the question of karma, what is that, karma phala and all this, karma theory? See, once he is everything, then the person who questions, he is also him only. So the karma phala, that the karma theory itself is such a concept. See, everyone at one stage, we, for some reason, or because of when we are younger, so we were taught so many things about various gods and all. If you don't, this will happen and all, do's and don'ts. Slowly, when we understand things and we learn more, this thing changes. So conceptually, certain things are mentioned and explained, even about next janma and all these things. So when we understand very clearly all these things, the question of janma, karma, these things, they don't arise at all. So like Ramana Maharshi, we have to ask, to whom this question arises? Then there is no such question we will understand. So that's why he says, to understand more and more, he is asking all these questions. So in fact, actually, again, in second chapter, there is a sloka, Ascharya Pashyati. It starts like that. People, what is that? Speaks about the self as wonderful, this thing, Ascharya. And they hear about it. But really, no one comes to know about it well. That is, no one. See, the reason is, up to some depth, we try to understand ourselves by thinking and doing manana if they have time. But beyond that, it is very difficult to go. Either we stop it or we wait for let somebody talk, or when we meet somebody, we will ask like that. So it all depends on understanding. So it goes on like this. So that's why he says, you only know about yourself by yourself. That means what? See, we know that I am that. That is, Aham Brahmasmi. But we are not really, we are not convinced to that extent that I am this, I am that. So really speaking, everything is me. Me means there is only one meaning, that is Brahman. Even, see, many people, they make a statement, it's very interesting. But to understand what he talks, many are like that. Even if you see modern thinkers like J. Krishnamurti, or even so, he says, "You are the world." There is a book which is called "You Are the World." Excellent. Same thing he explains in his own words without bringing any these jargons. So similarly, there are many such statements which immediately is difficult to understand. When he talks about time, he says, "Desire is time." That we understand desire and the time, but how he means desire is time, that is not easy to understand. One has to go through about 10 pages to understand that. So same thing here. For of course, at least as I told you earlier, we have some time to think. Imagine Arjuna in the war field when others are waiting to start the war. I don't know how patiently they were waiting. It's also very difficult to imagine. People like Arjuna and his brothers waiting for nearly 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours, when these people were discussing and talking about Gita. Anyway, actually in the, there was some serial, Mahabharata. What they do is, when these people are talking, Krishna does like that, and everybody becomes still till the conversation is over. That is the director's imagination. That also, at least, that looks rather better in one sense. Probably such things would have happened. Otherwise, 2.5 hours to 3 hours waiting for the others patiently till these people complete is really very difficult to imagine. Anyway, it happened, and so the next this one. So here Arjuna wants to know that you only know about yourself, and he wants to know. He wants him to explain further which are the points which I must do mananam or contemplate to understand. So it goes on like this. So 16. Vattumarhasya seshena divya hyatma vibhutayah ya vidbhuti birlokan imamstam vyapya tishtasi. Vattumarhasya seshena divya hyatma vibhutayah ya vidbhuti birlokan imamstam vyapya tishtasi. So here the translation is Arjuna asks, please explain in full the divine glories of the self because of which you exist pervading the worlds. That means you please explain how it is possible to pervade all the 3 worlds, and what is the divine glory by which you do this? That is, you pervade the 3 worlds. See here how that inner self amazingly manifests the multi-splendored universe with so many bodies. What is the divine potential? This is what Arjuna wants to know. That can transform a mere void-like thing to so many existences. The only source seems to be, as we also understand, the I present in the body. Arjuna wants to understand well the inner self with its visible external splendor, which is something very hard to accept. So this is again for us also, even though we have heard so many times, whatever we see is nothing but that. Last class it was explained that it is not only material cause also is that in clay and clay pot, last time it was explained. The clay is made into pot by another person with his knowledge and experience. Whereas here, Krishna or the Atma itself is material as well as intelligent. That means that alone appears like various things, the universe, what we see. This is what is not easy to understand. Even though in sleep, in deep sleep, we get dream. Dream is completely because of the mind and its power to project. So these individuals, the individual himself, he won't know what type of dream he will have. It just appears based on people say that the vasanas he has accumulated and all. Sometimes it's a nice dream, sometimes it is very rather sad, and sometimes even sort of in fact you get up, it is so much thrilling experience and all. So we ourselves do not know what kind of dream is going to be there. But once you get up, the dreamer, he becomes the waker, which he was before dreaming. Once he has understood that about dream, no question is asked, because things are very clear for the waker. Whereas the dreamer, he forgets he was a waker. So that is the problem, and he gets threatened, or he is happy, or all sorts of emotions he expresses. Even you can see from outside the way sometimes people talk also. From that one can understand, are you having a dream or not? Similarly, here in this world, it is very difficult to understand, even though we have discussed earlier how everything is that only. Once more I'll tell, but it is convincing. You cannot ask any question, but still we are not able to apply this knowledge or understand. That is, what is meant by seeing is when the light rays falls on the and forms an image in the retina, and when it reaches the brain, and when the mind comes in contact, it understands and forms an image. So what we see is the image of the thing we are seeing. The tree, I'm seeing the image of the tree is in the mind. So that is understood by the mind, and mind doesn't need any eye or eyes to understand that. It forms the image and it understands. So whatever we see is the image of the thing we see outside. We think it is outside, but the experience of seeing takes place in the mind. So that means the tree is made of mind stuff, which is consciousness, which is Brahman. So whatever you see is Brahman. See, this point alone, in fact, it explains so many things. Even if I see my eye or my body, it is made of, I don't see. It is the mind, the image in the mind. So whatever is seen as world is images in the world. That's why the Brahman or Atma, it projects the world, means it forms the entire world within itself. And when we sleep, it is withdrawn completely. So we feel that we are totally, we are alone, and no other things is seen, whether my body or the bed or the house or everything is not seen. So we are in the actually pure conscious state. So, but even though it is very convincing, this explanation, as I told you, it is Yoga Vasishtha. It is that. So whatever we see, it's all notional. Even though it looks solid. When we say solid, how do we say it's solid? When you touch, you feel that solid, table or whatever it is. Sometimes it's liquid. But this sensation through the touch is also is formed in the mind only. So in the mind, everything is of mind stuff only. It's not. It's neither grass. Only externally we feel it is grass. It is in a liquid form and like that. But really, inside everything is a projection, as in dream. In dream, in the mind, so many things we see: buildings, trees, and other people, the sea, ocean, everything. Even storm and everything. But really, they are all what you call. They just appear to be there. That's why our basic this thing itself is Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. The Mithya word is also very significant in the sense you can't say, when you say touch and say that no, it is there. How can I say it is not? It is untrue. It is false. That's why Mithya is appear to be there as in dream. So everything what we see is like dream. So this, how this happens, Arjuna wants to know. I want to know, that is, on which I must think. That is, the point he wants to know is, what is the divine power by which all these things happen, as if the world is there, I am there, the body is there, like this. So he wants to know about that. And so that means one has to understand the inner self. What is it? Aham Brahmasmi is one statement. It is a Mahavakyam. By that, to understand that, we have to read at least 2-3 of Upanishads, and of course this thing like Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures to understand. It's not just while reading these statements will come, but to really understand and put it into action. That means action means what? Afterwards, none of these things are affecting me. That bhavam, that feeling. So that has to not take place. Then only that the effect of this can be felt. So this is 16, no? So 17th, we'll see, and then finally we can discuss further. 17th. Tatam vidyamaham yogim swam stata parichintayan keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya. Tatam vidyamaham yogim swam sada parichintayan keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya. So the translation. How shall I know you? By constantly thinking about you. He is asking that. Even though I know that I am that, how to know without any doubt about you? By constantly meditating on that. In what various things, O Lord, are you to be contemplated upon by me? Because I see everything on which I must concentrate so that I can understand fully. See, we always say self-knowledge. It has two aspects. First is this, as sentient inmost presence, and the presence embodying endless forms in the external universe. So the manifested form and the unmanifested, that presence, that these are the two aspects. Arjuna wants to have the spiritual touch even when interacting with the world. So when everything is there, in every aspect, when I am interacting, how to feel the presence of God or God or Brahman. How to feel? In other words, he wants to acquire full knowledge of the subjective and objective expressions of the Supreme. Subjective, unmanifested, and objective, the objective world, manifested world. So it's a beautiful question. Otherwise, when we see, we lose our, that thinking, that contemplation. That is, so there must be some reminders which should remind us that, oh, what you see is, it's a mere, the appearance, but really God is behind it. So there is last week or before that we discussed about that. That is another. அந்த இது மரத்தில் மறைந்தது மாமதை யானை, மரத்தை மறைத்தது மாமதை யானை, மரத்தை மறைத்தது பார்முதல் பூதம். All these five, great bhutas, panchabhutas. When you see this, you forget the Param, means that Brahman. When you see Brahman, பரத்தை மறைத்தது பார்முதல் பூதம், பரத்தில் மறைந்தது பார்முதல் பூதம். When you see that the Brahman, these things, they lose their, that presence. That means we see only that. You imagine really that elephant made of wood. When you see the wood, see the people who are interested in wood, they say, oh, it's a beautiful rosewood and all these things. They don't bother about whether it is elephant or lion or. So that's not important for the people who are interested in the wood. Whereas the persons who are interested in the form, the art, they don't bother whether it is wood or a stone or whatever material it is made of. But what is said here is, once you see the material or that maram, the wood, they don't see the yane. That's what, that is elephant. So marathai maraitadu, this elephant, marathil maraindadu yane. So the same thing is here. When we really meditate, see, especially opening the eyes. If meditate means what? All thoughts should completely vanish. When it happens, that means no thoughts, that stage. In sleep, one can understand. In sleep, if somebody opens the eye, then nothing is seen. In fact, this experience many of us would have had. But actually, when we are meditating, and absolutely no thought stage means nothing will be seen. So these are all projected by mind. So that is the actual situation. And when we see the world, this is also, see, that's why when we see the wood and the elephant, once after understanding, they don't confuse us. But still we see both elephant as well as the wood. Same thing. Once we have understood clearly the presence of the world, the trees and buildings and people, they don't confuse us because we have understood. So that this is actually called mithya, that effect. It's not notional. So it's all like a dream. So the questions are not asked. No doubts are present. Everything is clear. So that is the sort of situation Arjuna wants to attain. So that's why he asks, which particular thing I must remember to meditate upon or contemplate. So this is the question he asks. the subjective and objective expressions of the Supreme. What are the special features or excellences on which Arjuna should contemplate? That's why it's called Vibhuti Yogam, and he explains. I'll see the next one also, 18th. Vistarenatmano yogam vibhutim cha janardhana bhuyat kataya triptrihi shunvato nasti me mritam. Vistarenatmano yogam vibhutim cha janardhana bhuyat kataya triptrihi shunvato nasti me mritam. Explain, O Janardana, in detail about your yoga, your inscrutable power and its manifest glory. I am not fully satisfied listening to your nectarine words so far. I still have doubts. I am not totally satisfied. So explain in detail about your yoga, your inscrutable power. Then only Krishna starts the Vibhuti Yoga part. That's why it is called Vibhuti Yoga. Is whatever, or he lists various things in which he can be seen. That's why this Vibhuti Yoga 10th chapter is mainly for. So this is once, see, there are so many options given. For some people, some of the points will appeal. That, oh, I see. That's why we are able to see God or Krishna or Paramatma in everything. It's actually what sees and what is seen and the seeing itself. Everything is that only. That is the thing which we slowly understand. So the questions which bother the mind, they all drop one by one. So we don't, that is a situation in which absolutely no doubt, and there is actually nothing really to do. Actually, we think that we are doing everything. In 5th chapter, again, many times we have discussed this. Let me say that 5th chapter, 14th verse. It's very interesting and surprising also. Na kartritvam na karmani lokasya srujati prabhu na karma pala samyogam svabhavastu pravartate. So the God doesn't give kartritvam nor karmas to anybody. God doesn't give, nor the karma phala also. It doesn't give. Then how this thing happens? Swabhavastu pravartate. Swabhav means the prakriti, 3 gunas. Gunas are swabhavam. That is acting. This also we have seen, we have discussed sometimes earlier. So that is doing. Even now I am not doing anything. So the see, there is only one being, Brahman, in the manifested world and the unmanifested world, unmanifest form, and whatever is happening, it is done by the Prakriti. Prakriti also, 7th chapter, it is a lower Prakriti and a higher Prakriti. So everything that only. So we have nothing to do. Actually, that's why Ramana says Sumayir. Sumayir means who I am so. Now Summana, I am Summana. That itself is an understanding. So everything are just moving about and happening because of that one presence. There is no individuality. That's why the Veda Buddhi is totally it stops. So this understanding slowly sets in when we understand, discuss, and whatever doubt we have, anyway, once we really doubt and we want to get it cleared, you will get the right book or some dialogue or some satsang, even in TV, there are so many things that will explain. So if you are really interested, that will explain your and also your doubt will. So it depends on our interest. We must get this doubt cleared. If at all there will be some doubt, all this time will come when all doubts are, that is the Hridaya Granthi. I forgot the sloka. Okay, whatever it is. So it drops, and the para and apara prakriti, everything is understood. No questions asked. There is a feeling that I have nothing to do because I am that sort of question. So everything what we see, they just like a dream. So dream world, dream or trees, dream building, dream people. So it's like that. And even now it is like that only, but there is no understanding, clear understanding. Otherwise, suppose we go on, it's not sitting, but who will do the job and all these things. That itself is ignorance. Everything, even now, we are not doing. It all happens svabhavastu, that because of that subhava, 5th chapter 14, that has to be understood very clearly. So whatever karma, pala and all these things, it's all just happening to him only. So that's why Ramana always has to find out to whom it is. So there is no such entity. So this is what happening, and slowly when it gets in, all the time it is felt that I am in that in the blissful state. Ananda means not jumping like this. No doubt, no dukkha, nor sukha. It is like that. So to reach that stage, Arjuna is posing these questions, excellent questions. And from next sloka onwards, it is one by one explained. So others, if Mr. Ramanand, he said they would also like to discuss some points. So I am stopping here.
Okay. Thank you, Natarajan. The summary of Natarajan's talk is, we are all like Arjunas. We have listened to 9 chapters and also the beginning of the 10th chapter. Arjuna is very clear, he has understood so many things, but he is asking Krishna again, how to see Bhagavan? How do I see Bhagavan? You say seeing Bhagavan is very easy. But how do I see Bhagavan? Bhagavan, Lord Krishna said that I was the nimitta karanam, the intelligent cause, and I am the material cause, upadana karanam, and there was nothing else before the creation. So whatever you see is only my form. To understand this is very, very difficult. It's like, from after going to the temple, after visiting, seeing Lord Ganapati, for example, then how do I connect that Lord with me, with my understanding? And this is a problem for all of us. So what Arjuna is asking Krishna is, I know whatever you are talking so far, I understand. And you have also described about your Vibhuti in the 7th chapter and the 9th chapter. But you tell me very clearly, for my meditation purpose, how should I concentrate on certain glories of yours through which I will be able to see Bhagavan, the background Bhagavan. As Natarajan rightly said about the wooden elephant and the wood. you have two options. Either you can see the elephant, which is also made up of wood, or you can see the timber. A man who is dealing with timber, he will look at the wood, what type of wood it is. Like a thief, when he comes to for stealing the golden articles from the temple, there are so many idols are there. So there is Rama idol, Krishna idol, then Ambal idol, and if it is a Ramayana, there will be also Ravana idol. The thief is looking only at the total weight. He is not worried about the shape, whether it is Rama or Sita or Hanuman, but he looks at Ravana, because Ravana has got 10 heads. So he will be very heavy. So he looks at the material cost. And we look at the Rama Rupa. Similarly, our vision should be tuned to see the Bhagavan. Bhagavan is there at every stage. And that he talks on the 20th sloka, which is going to come next week. There he says, I am, you are Brahman, I am Atma, and myself and yourself, we are both of us are same. There is no difference. So the glory of you is that you are Brahman. I'll read the sloka. Akamatma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutasayasthitaha Akamadischa Madhyamcha Bhutanam Amtayevacha Akam Atma Gudakesha. This is the Nirguna Brahman. Nirguna Brahman is my Atma and your Atma, they are one and the same. Nirguna Brahman. So to understand this Nirguna Brahman, and he says, I am in everything. Sarva Bhuta Shayastitaha. Sarva Bhuta Shayastitaha. It means in every living being, I am there as Atma. So this is a Mahavakya. Agam Brahmasmi, that Mahavakya. So that we will go into the next class. But in the meantime, how our vision, we should see the outside and see that everything is Bhagavan. Sarvam Brahmamayam. That is what they say. Everything is Brahman. There is nothing other than Brahman. The rest are all Mithya. It's only Namarupa. So that is the idea of the Vibhuti Yoga. So through Vibhuti Yoga, once we are able to understand the deeper meaning of Vibhuti Yoga, then to see Brahman is very easy. That is what he is talking about from the Vibhuti Yoga onwards. So he will take some few practical examples, the glories of the people. And then through that glory, because that glory belongs to Bhagavan. It does not belong to you, individual. So that is how the development of this Vibhuti Yoga will take place. Now I want a few of you, if you have anything to offer, like whatever you have understood so far, how to visualize Bhagavan. Sarvam Brahmamayam. Jayaraman. சொல்லுங்க ஏதாவது.
இதுல எனக்கு சொல்றதுக்கு எல்லாமே கடவுள் தான் நம்ம சொல்லிட்டோம்னா அப்போ மீதி பேரை வேற மாதிரி பார்க்க கூடாது. நம்ம என்னத்துக்கு நான் ஜெயராமன் எதாப்புல இருக்கிறவா ராமநாதன் மாமா இவங்க வேற அப்படின்னு சொல்றதெல்லாம் we only see the name and form. Name and form நம்ம நாக் அவுட் பண்ணிட்டேன்னா what remains is ஆத்மா. ஆத்மா, that is God. அந்த நிலை நமக்கு வந்தோன்னா நீங்க சொல்றதை நம்ம ஃபாலோ பண்ண முடியும். அந்த நிலை வரத்துக்கு ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். இது சொன்னாலே அமிர்த பிந்து உபநிஷத்துல சொல்லுவா, ஒரு there is a second verse, மன ஏவ மனுஷ்யானாம் காரணம் பந்த மோக்ஷயோகோ பந்தாய விஷய ஆசக்தம் முக்தம் நிர்விஷயம் ஸ்மிருதம். அதாவது நம்மளோட மனசுதான் காரணம் நம்மளோட இதுக்கும் மோட்சத்துக்கும் நம்மளுடைய பந்தத்துக்கும். நம்ம பந்தப்படுறது என்னன்னா, நம்ம பிரத்தியாரை பத்தி நினைச்சுட்டு நான் எனக்கு பத்தி என்னை பத்தி ஒன்றும் கவலை இல்லை, அவளுக்கு என்ன ஆகுதுன்னு பார்க்கணும் அப்படிங்கறதெல்லாம் மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் தி பீப்புள் தே டு இட் திஸ் வே. நம்ம என்ன பண்ணணும்னா, நம்ம தலைவிதி கொஞ்சம் கூட மாறாது, எப்படி இருந்தாலும் கடவுள் நமக்கு படி கொடுத்துருக்கான் அப்படின்னு நினைச்சுட்டு மூடத்தனமெல்லாம் ஒன்றும் இல்லாம நம்மளை பத்தி நினைச்சுட்டு பகவானையும் இப்ப நம்மலாம் என்ன பண்ணுவோம், சில சமயத்துல நமக்கு ஏதாவது கஷ்டம் வந்து கொடுத்தோம்னா நம்ம என்ன நினைச்சுக்கிறோம், உலகத்துல அவளை கூப்பிட்டு இவாளை கூப்பிட்டு அவ நமக்கு வந்து எதிர்பார்த்து நமக்கு உதவி செய்வா அப்படின்னு நினைச்சுக்கிறோம். அதெல்லாம் ஒண்ணுமே இல்லை. உங்களுக்கு நிஜமா உதவி செய்வது வர்றது கடவுள் தான். அப்ப கடவுள் இருக்கும்போது எனக்கு ஒன்றும் பயம் இல்லை. இங்கிலீஷ்ல சொல்லுவான், when God is for me, who can be against me பா. அப்ப அது யாராவது உங்களுக்கு உதவி பண்ணினா கூட சான்ஸ்கிரிட்ல சொல்லுவாள், அது மாதிரி பகவான் மனுஷ ரூபேனா தான் பண்றாள் வழியா, இட்ஸ் ஆல் டன் பை காட். அது நமக்கு வரத்துக்கு புரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்கு ரொம்ப அவசியம். அது புரிஞ்சுட்டா நம்ம லைஃப்ல பயமே இருக்காது. அப்படின்னு என்னன்னா, எல்லாத்துலயும் கடவுளை தான் பார்க்கணும், எல்லார்ட்டையும் கடவுளை தான் பார்க்கணும். நம்ம என்ன செஞ்சாலும் கடவுள் பேர்ல தான் செய்யணும். காத்தால எழுந்திருந்தா கூட எல்லாம் நீ இன்றைக்கு என்ன நடக்கிறதோ உன்னோட விருப்பம் அடுத்து அப்படி அவன்கிட்ட பண்ணணும். அதுதான் நம்ம சாக்ரிஃபைசிங் ஒரு என்ன சொல்லுவோம், அது சம ஐ டோன்ட் கெட் தி வேர்ட், சாக்ரிஃபைஸ் எவ்ரிதிங் டு காட் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கு. அது மாதிரி அவன் இல்லாம ஒன்றும் நடக்காது அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு இது இருக்கணும். அதுதான் சரணாகத்தம். ஐ காட் வேர்ட் சரணாகத்தம். அது மாதிரி அவன் தான் எல்லாத்தையும் ஓட்டின்னு போறான், அவன் இருக்கான், அவன் இருக்கும்போது நமக்கு ஒன்றும் கஷ்டம் இல்லை, கவலை இல்லை அப்படின்னு. நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம்னா, எனக்கு போகணும்னா ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும், திருக்கோல சந்தியாவந்தன் பண்ணுவேன், பிரம்மயக்கியம் பண்ணுவேன், திங்கக்கிழமை அன்னைக்கு சிவன் கோயில் போவேன், செவ்வாய்க்கிழமை பிள்ளையார் கோயில் போவேன், வெள்ளிக்கிழமைன்னா அம்பாள் கோயில போயிட்டு லலிதா சாஸ்திரம் படிப்பேன் அப்படிங்கிறோம். நம்ம அவளை நமக்கு கடவுளை பிடிக்கும். இந்த லைட்டர் வெயின் என் ஃப்ரெண்ட் ஒருத்தன் சொல்லுவான், எனக்கு மோதி ரொம்ப நல்லா தெரியும் அப்படிமா. டசன்ட் ஜஸ்ட் மேட்டர். மோதி உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருந்தா இட் மேட்டர்ஸ். அது மாதிரி நீங்க பகவானை பிரியப்படுறது இட் இஸ் ஜஸ்ட் நதிங். பகவான் உங்க மேல பிரியப்படுவானா அப்படிங்கறத பார்க்கணும். அப்ப பார்க்கும்போது பகவானே சொல்லிடுறான். 12வது அத்தியாயத்துல முழுக்க முழுக்க சொல்றான். அதுல எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்ச 2 ஸ்லோகம் சொல்லிட்டு நிறுத்திடுறேன். அது சொல்றான், அத்வைத சர்வபூதானாம் மைத்ர கருண ஏவச்ச நிர்மமோம் நிரஹங்காரா சம துக்க சுக ஷமி சந்துஷ்ட சததம் யோகி யதாத்மா திருட நிச்சய மை அர்ப்பித மனோபுத்தி யோமத் பக்தி சமே பிரியா. எனக்கு யார் பிடிக்கும் அப்படின்னு அவன் சொல்லிட்டான். 12ல கடைசி ஒரு அது 20 ஸ்லோகம் தான் உண்டு. கடைசி ஒரு 7-8 ஸ்லோகத்துல நம்ம எப்படி இருக்கணும் அப்படிங்கறத பகவானே சொல்லிடுறான். எனக்கு பிரியமா இருக்கணும் வழிய பகவானை நம்ம பிரியப்பட்டு தேங்காய் மாலை போட்டேன், வடமாலை சாத்தினேன் அப்படிங்கறதெல்லாம் it's all formalities. That's not going to help you. What is going to help you is பகவானுக்கு நம்ம பிடிக்கிற மாதிரி இருந்துக்கணும். நம்ம இந்த வேலை மைக்கிலி சொல்லுவா, இந்த விஷயம் பண்ணினா அது பகவானுக்கு பிடிக்குமா அப்படின்னு நினைச்சு ஒரு செகண்ட் நினைச்சேன்னா you will never ever do anything that is not correct. அது மாதிரி நம்ம மனசால ஒருத்தருக்கும் தீங்கு பண்ணாம பகவானை நினைச்சுட்டே இருந்தேன்னா God will take care. அதான் எனக்கு தோன்றது. தேங்க்யூ மாமா.
தேங்க்யூ பா. ஸ்ரீனிவாசன் ஏதாவது சொல்றல?
சொல்றேன் அண்ணா.
சொல்லுங்க
அண்ணா இப்பதான் ஜஸ்ட் நான் அடிக்கடி நம்ம நடராஜன் மாமா விவேக சூடாமணியை ரெஃபர் பண்ணுவார். எப்படிதான் நம்ம பிரம்மத்தை பற்றி அறிஞ்சிக்கிறது எப்படி அந்த சொல்லிட்டு அப்போ ரொம்ப அழகா அந்த சிஷ்ய லட்சணத்துல நம்ம எப்படி இருக்கணும்னு சொன்னாரு. அதுதான் எனக்கு ஞாபகம் வந்தது. ஏன்னா தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்கு முந்தைய என்ன சொல்றாருனாக்கா ரொம்ப அழகா சொன்னார். நம்ம எல்லாம் மேதாவியா இருக்கணும். மேதாவின்ற வார்த்தை நம்ம கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கோம். பெரிய மேதாவி அவன் சொல்லுவா பார்த்தீங்களா? அந்த மேதாவி யாருன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கேட்பதை மறக்காமல் மனசில் வாங்கி கொள்ளும் சக்தியாகி உள்ளவன் மேதாவின்னு சொன்னார். அதான் விவேக சூடாவின்ல மீனிங் சொல்றார். அந்த மாதிரி 4 குணங்கள்: விவேகம் உள்ளவன், விரக்தன், வைராக்கியம் உள்ளவன், சமம், அது முதலான குணங்களில் நன்கு ஈடுபட்டவன், அது மோட்சத்தில் அவா உள்ளவன். இந்த 4 இஸ் a characteristics for a shishya to reach a proper guru and seek from him with his பிரணிபாதேன்னு பஞ்சபக்ஷியேன்னு தேவையா சொல்லி கண்டுபிடிச்சாதான் நம்ம அதை பத்தி அறிஞ்சிக்க முடியும். ரொம்ப அழகா ஒரு சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கா. எல்லாருக்கும் நான் ரிக்வெஸ்ட் என்ன பண்றேன்னாக்கா, இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பிரம்மத்தை பத்தி விசாரம் செய்யணும்னா there should be some minimum requirements which you have to like நம்ம இதெல்லாம் இப்போ மாமா சொல்லி கொடுத்ததுலேருந்து கீதையிலேருந்து நம்ம தெரிஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கோம். அதெல்லாம் ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்கு we have to start off now. Probably Natarajan and Anna should take some initiation to initiate us into this particular type of vichara. அதெல்லாம் நமக்கு நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டெப்லேருந்து நம்ம விசாரம் எடுத்துக்கலாம். அது இதெல்லாம் நம்ம படிக்கிறதெல்லாம் it will be a stepping stone for us to get into detailing of all those Shishya Lakshanam, and we'll pray for that soon to happen and that enlightenment to happen in all of us. இதான் அண்ணா.
ஓகே, நமஸ்காரம்.
ஹரி ஓம் மாமா.
சொல்லுமா.
சொல்றதுக்கு நிறைய இருக்கு, டைம் இல்ல. ஒண்ணு மாத்திரம், நம்ம கிளாஸ் முடிக்கும் போது நம்ம அந்த ஒரு ஸ்லோகம் சொல்றோம் இல்லையா? பூர்ணமத பூர்ணமிதம் பூர்ணாத் பூர்ணமுதச்யதே, அந்த ஸ்லோகத்திலே எல்லாம் இருக்கு. It says that everything is divine. There is no place where divinity is not there. If you remove divinity or add divinity, the remaining is divinity. ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஸ்பேஸ். ஸ்பேஸ்ல முதல்ல ஒரு ஃபுட்பால் கிரவுண்ட் ஒன்று கட்டுறான். அதுக்கப்புறமா அந்த ஃபுட்பால் கிரவுண்ட இரேஸ் பண்ணிட்டு அதுக்கு பதிலா ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு மியூசிக் அகாடமி, ஒரு பெரிய ஹால் ஒன்று கட்டுறான்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. பட் ஸ்பேஸ் இட் இஸ் டிரான்ஸ்ஃபார்ம்ட் ஆர் மாடிஃபைட். ஆனா ஸ்பேஸ்ங்கிறது இட் ரிமைன்ஸ் ஸ்பேஸா தான் இருக்கு. ஒரு வீடுன்னு எடுத்துட்டேன்னா, ஒரு வீட்டுல ஒரு பெரிய ஹால் இருக்கு அப்படின்னா, அந்த ஹாலை நீ டிவைட் பண்ணி ஒரு கிச்சன் அப்படின்னு பண்ணினேன்னு வச்சுக்கோ. அப்ப இதுக்கு பேர் கொடுக்குற நீ, இது ஹாலு, இது கிச்சன், இது பெட்ரூம் அப்படின்னு. ஸோ அந்த நேம் அண்ட் ஃபார்ம் வரும்போதுதான் ஓகே, நம்ம தான் கொடுக்குறோம் நேம் அண்ட் ஃபார்ம். இது கிருஷ்ண, இது ராம, இது அம்பிகை, இது பிள்ளையார், இது முருகன். பட் லைக் த ஸ்பேஸ் அப்படிங்கிறது இருக்கு, ஒன்னே ஒண்ணுதான். அதே மாதிரி தான். ஸோ த டிவினிட்டி இஸ் ஒன்லி ஒன். வாட் எவர் யூ ஆர் டிவைன் ஒன்லி. இட் இஸ் டிஃபிகல்ட் டு பிலீவ், but you are completely divine and not partially divine. அப்படிங்கறத ஸ்கிரிப்சர்ஸே டிக்ளேர் பண்றது, you are completely divine. இன்னும் நிறைய பேசலாம் மாமா, டைம் இல்ல. ஓகே, நெக்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ் I will continue. Thank you மாமா.
Thank you ma. Thank you.
Bye mama.
We'll go now. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate
Purnasya
Purnamadaye Purnameva Vasishyate. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.